Hey y'all, it's my Riacom again. I am doing weirdly okay today, and I'm not really sure why. This is not a complaint. uh, I am. I wouldn't say I'm doing good. I wouldn't say I am, like, past this whole grieving thing. I think that I'm just moving into I'm sort of okay kind of stage of grief. And I'm not sure why. I don't know if this is just like normal or if. I would say today I kind of feel numb, I guess, about everything. About like how I feel about not having my cat and stuff like that. Um, and I don't know how much of that is because I am working remotely today. It should be a snow day, but it's not. But to avoid the potentially bad weather, I brought my work stuff home so I could just work from home regardless of what the weather was like. So that's what I'm doing. Hooray for me. But so I'm not like around a bunch of people. I'm just sitting at home alone by myself. And maybe that's part of why I'm feeling kind of like numb, generally speaking, about everything. Um, I don't know. I'm not really sure what is going on. Again, not complaining about it. I'm just sort of like, whoa, what is happening? Yeah, I'm. Anyway, my point is I don't know how much of me being kind of numb and, like, generally sort of okay is because I'm not around other people. And I don't have to. I guess. How do I describe this? Since I am an introvert, being around other people, like, drains my energy. And the fact that I am not around other people today, maybe that is making this a little easier because I'm not having to have that energy drained and I can just kind of be okay. I don't know. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe I am just moving through the grieving process and kind of being okay. I don't really know. Um, Maybe I've just convinced myself that my cat is still sort of here in some ways. This is like actually kind of silly, but over the past like few days, I've randomly gotten like a few scratches and stuff. And some of them I'm like, oh, well, that's from doing this. So yeah, I remember that happening. But there are some that just kind of seem to have appeared out of nowhere. And that's just a normal part of life, and I get that. But like, I have when I've noticed these new scratches that kind of came out of nowhere, I have had the thought of, oh, maybe that's just Javon telling me he's still here. You know. Again, I don't really believe that, but I think part of me wants to believe that, so I don't know. Maybe it's a denial kind of thing. Who knows? Anyway, I just wanted to mention that I'm like sort of doing okay today, and that's a grieving thing, yeah, but it's also I think like some things are happening today where I'm just kind of maybe the universe is being a little nicer to me than normal. Like I was not expecting to get any deliveries today, but I did get a couple today and I it made me like, oh, I'm happy I chose to work from home because even though it's not the weather's not too terrible. It is snowing a lot, and the snow is wet. It doesn't seem too heavy yet, but it is wet. And so, even like noticing that a delivery person dropped something off and like leaving it out there for a few minutes and then going out to get it and bring it in, even just that with that, the box is like kind of damp. So, I'm glad that it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it really worked out that I am working from home today when these deliveries came that I was not expecting because they weren't supposed to get here until tomorrow or the next day. I think one of them was actually scheduled for Thursday, and today is Tuesday. And that never happens, especially in the winter and especially in December. So, like, that was like oh, maybe the universe is kind of being a little nicer to me for a change. feeling. And so maybe that's part of why I'm kind of doing okay today. Instead of something like super negative happening, something kind of okay happened for once. Um, Another thing was my boss sent me. Now, I'm not used to this. I am not used to having a boss who actually cares about my career development and my professional development and that sort of thing. I'm used to having bosses who just want me to keep doing what I'm doing and not change and not grow. um so I'm not used to a boss who like emailed me a job listing at the university we work at and said, "Hey, this looks like something that would be up your alley. You should apply for it." I'm not used to having a boss who's like trying to help me advance. So, and this boss like actually really cares, but she sent me this and I was just like, "Oh, if you're sending me this, you must be okay with me applying for it." So, I'm gonna apply for it. I do not think I am qualified for it, but I applied for it because someone else thought I could. So, whatever. If someone else thinks I can, I'm gonna do it. I'm not super confident in my cover letter writing abilities right now because I am still pretty depressed. But I tried. And that's all I can really say. I'm not very good at like embellish is probably what I should say. And I'm not very good at doing that, so I don't think I necessarily always am great at trying to get the jobs that maybe I should have, but yeah. Whatever. It's a whole thing. So I applied, and anyway, my point being that was also kind of like a good, oh, this is kind of a good thing happening in the universe. Maybe it's not such a bad day or whatever. Even though the weather like is not great, it's not terrible, but it's not great, and I'm gonna have to shovel after work, which I don't want to do. I did work through lunch, so I could leave early, but I don't think I'm going to. Since I'm at home, it makes it a little easier to just stay instead of like want to leave early to get home. So maybe I'll just leave early on Friday then. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just like generally not super sad. Um I listened back to some of my other recordings, specifically some of the ones about grief and grieving and um dealing with the loss of my cat and that kind of stuff. And you know, they didn't make me super emotional or anything like that, and maybe that means I'm moving through this process. Maybe that means I am getting to a place where I can be generally okay, which would be great. I mean, I still miss him. I still miss my baby. But it's a whole thing. I can't remember if it was not this last weekend, but the weekend before, because I did not do anything this last weekend. The weekend before, though, my brother-in-law's mom works. Part of what she does is she has like a booth or whatever at a thrift store, antique store. I don't know what you want to call it. Thing. Like that. um, and she was like, so, if you have a booth there, you also have to like, you know, help run the cash register and stuff on occasion. So I happened to be out thrifting and I like went there and she was there and it was cool and whatever. But so we talked a little bit about my cat. Because I think she only met him once or twice, but she really liked seeing pictures of him and stuff when I would post them on social media and that sort of thing. She has a cat that actually looks very, very similar to him. Like, he's like a peachish or apricot-ish kind of, he was like a peachish or apricot-ish kind of color. A light orange color, which is not like a typical orange cat color. And she has a cat that's like pretty much exactly the same color as he was. But hers is a girl. But yeah, so like she would like, you know, talk about, oh, he's like my Daisy and stuff like that a lot. But anyway, so after I talked with her, one of the things I mentioned was that I kind of want to get like Cremain's jewelry or something like that so that I can do something a little more substantial. And like, so I can feel him and have him like with me all the time, basically. I have a friend who has Cremain's jewelry for her, like, I don't know if it was her first cat, but the cat that like meant the most to her. That sounds terrible. It's not like she plays favorites, but you know, it was a very, very special cat to her. And she has Cremain's jewelry for him, and like she's the one who first mentioned it to me and kind of made it a thing I should think about, or made it something I was thinking about, is the way I should say that. But anyway, so I mentioned that to my brother-in-law's mom, and last week she texted me and said, I know you were thinking about doing this and I don't want to spoil the surprise, but do not do not worry about getting any Cremain's jewelry. I've got you covered. So I assume she's going to give me something for Christmas. So like it's obvious to me that there are people out there who are caring. uh that sounds silly. Who I am very, very grateful that my brother-in-law's mom appears to want to help me through this grieving process, even if we don't see each other very often, even if, you know, whatever. I'm glad that she wants to do something to help. And it would, so she does make jewelry, and I would be like, it would be really cool to me if she makes something in his memory, even if it's not Cremain's jewelry, even if it's something else. Like, yeah, that would be, it would mean a lot to me. So that was kind of cool to hear. And then I don't know, like today has been, like I said, kind of okay, even though the weather kind of is not ideal. Today has been okay. Now the rest of the week is kind of going to suck because it's going to be really cold. And personally, I would take snow, and a lot of snow, over really cold, because really cold is more expensive to deal with. But it's whatever. Gotta take what life throws at you when you live in the Midwest. So but yeah, I'm doing like kind of okay, and I'm wanted to mention that grieving still sucks, and I still miss Javon a lot, and I do not want to be working. Even if I am working from home, I don't want to be doing it. But here we are. And yeah, here I am. I am surviving this whole grieving thing. I really hope I don't have a backslide and get really sad over the next few days. But it also will not shock me if that happens. So we'll see. If you have been paying attention to my grieving process, I appreciate that. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. And I do want to throw out there, I did this in a few of like my earlier recordings. I haven't really done this in a while though. If you want to chat about something, or you want to talk, or you just want to throw something in my comments, just to so it can get seen. I don't like get any comments. That's not true. I get a few. I don't get very many comments. So they're really easy to read, and they don't take a lot of my energy to read them. So I will read whatever you want to toss in the comments if you want to say something. You can also send me a direct message of some kind if that is a thing on YouTube. I need to figure out if that's a thing before I make that claim. I'm sure it is. I'm just dumb about this whole actual creator side of things. So, I did discover that YouTube, I kind of knew this, I just sort of forgot. And I didn't realize that it's something that YouTube just automatically does. YouTube will automatically, like, transcribe or whatever, videos. So, granted, it's not very good all the time. I used to do transcription in my previous job, and I'm very picky about it. So, but because it is already automatically transcribing them and all of that, I guess I could use that as a starting point. I did work on the first video, my first ever video that I posted, and transcribed that manually. But since YouTube is already automatically doing it whether I want them to or not, I guess I could just use that as a starting point and work on use that as a starting point to add subtitles or whatever to my videos, and then continue to do that going forward. But yeah, anyway, so grieving, terrible and annoying, but it's a normal process we have to go through, and I am doing kind of okay today. And I appreciate you for listening. I appreciate you for hanging out. Let me know if there's anything specific you want me to talk about in the future. I would love to talk about what people want me to talk about instead of just rambling. Unless you just like my rambling, I can do that too. But yeah, thanks for listening. This has been my Riacom talking about grief and talking about how today I'm kind of okay. And I will try and chat at you again soon. Bye.